Hello everybody, I hope you're all very well and welcome to this Here to Help video on pets in French. Let's get started. So what I've got here is I'm just going to move the camera over a little bit. There we go. So I've got the English here and then the singular and the plural. So why would you need to use the plural in case you've got more than one? So you might have 2 rabbits, 2 hamsters, 2 mice that scuttle about your garage. You might have 2 guinea pigs. So this is just so you know how to say the plural. You might say I went to the dog shelter and there were some dogs and you had to choose one. So then you know the plural, because every plural is, well, most plurals in French are different to the singular, so there's a slight difference there. So I'm just going to go straight into it. So singular for guinea pig is un cochon d'Inde and plural is des cochons d'Inde. However, one thing to look at here is that what we've got is here we've got an I and an I. So these are capital I's. So after the D apostrophe, you've got capital I's. And how does it change from singular to plural? Well, the un, which is masculine, becomes des, some, and then the S goes on the end. Next we've got un chat, which is cat or des chats. So the difference there is instead of having un, we're going to have des, which is some, and we've got the S on the end. Rabbit is un lapin or des lapins, and how this works is you change your un, which is masculine, to your des, and it goes from no S on the end to an S on the end to make it plural. A dog, un chien, des chiens, and that goes from un to de, and then S goes on the end for the plural. Fish, un poisson, des poissons. So your un changes to des and you put an S on the end. I'm just going to move that down a little bit. And you've got un serpent and des serpents for snake. So what changes is your un, which is masculine, goes into a des, and the serpent, which has no S on the end, changes to having an S on the end. Now bird, this is when it slightly changes. So our singular is un oiseau, so that's masculine, and we go to des, some oiseau. So it's spelled differently. So we keep our O-I-S-E-A-U, we just put an X on the end. And that is the same with animaux. So it tends to be that with some, such as cheval as well, which is a horse, it becomes cheval with the X on the end for plural. So sometimes you just got to watch out for that for the plural, because it's not always as simple as sticking an S on the end and changing the A to D. You have to kind of check with your teacher rather than just assuming it's an S on the end, because it can vary. Okay, so that means bird. Next we have un hamster and des hamsters. So you don't really pronounce it not hamster, it's hamster. Un hamster, it runs as one almost in your mouth. Un hamster, des hamsters. That means hamster. Then we have une souris for the singular, and then des souris for the plural. And that means mouse or mice. So mouse is une souris, which is feminine, and then your plural is des souris, which is mice, more than one mouse. And for tortoise, you have un tortue, which again is feminine, and to make it plural, you'd use des tortue. And then what happens is, finally we've got our spider. So une araignée, and which is feminine, and then to make it plural, we're going to des araignées to make that be plural, so we put an S on the end of it. One thing to watch out for is the penultimate E, so second last E in this word, so that technically the first E that you come to, so I've just scribbled that out, has an acute accent on it. Okay, so one thing to remember is that mouse, tortoise and spider all are feminine nouns, whereas every other of the animals we've mentioned here are masculine. And how do you say animal? So an animal is un animal, and that is masculine, and plural is des animaux. That's got the X on the end, just like oiseau, bird. So it's some animal, and then some animals, and that translates into animal for un animal, and animals for des animaux. How do you ask the question, do you have a pet? I'm just going to move this over. I don't know how to do that. Let's move it over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come down here. Do you have a pet? Tu as un animal. Animal. Okay, that translates as, do you have a pet? And then also, if you want to respond to that question, I do not have a pet. Je n'ai pas d'animaux. And that is, I don't or I do not have a pet. And there's another way you can answer that question. That would be, I do have a pet. So that would be, j'ai des animaux. I have. That's the key difference. I don't have and I have a pet. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you found it useful, and see you next time I'm here to help. Bye for now.